Hey guys, how's it going? Just want to make a quick video for you about the Holy Paladin Glimmer of Light build rotation priority system, whatever you want to call that. A lot of people have been being asked to reroll or off-spec or alt a Holy Paladin because it is an incredibly strong raid healer right now. And it's somewhat unique and not necessarily complicated, but punishing to mistakes. So I'm gonna go over some basic tips for how to not make some of the crucial mistakes as Holy Paladin, and then get into more specifically the damage and healing rotation during wings, which is what's really gonna make or break your success with this pack. So first, the outside of wings, just more general rotation stuff for it. Your number one priority is Holy Shock on cooldown. Just get as many Holy Shocks out and spread your Glimmers around. You don't want to be Holy Shocking one person. And in conjunction with this, since you'll be running the Crusader's Might talent, in order to get as many Holy Shocks out as you can, not only keep Holy Shock on cooldown at all times, but you never want to cap your Crusader Strike charges. You never want to be at 2 charges. You don't have to be at 0 charges. It's okay to, like, if you're at 0 charges, you don't need to press it immediately. Like, you're still not losing value, but you never want to be at 2 charges. So that's a big thing. People that are used to playing other healers and they reroll Holy Paladin, they want to sit back and cast a lot, and they end up not using their Crusader Strike charges. You really need to be in melee. You really need to be Crusader Striking and Holy Shocking on cooldown. If you have, like, I joke sometimes on stream about it being a 2-button spec, where the rotation is you Holy Shock, and if you can't Holy Shock, you Crusader Strike until you can Holy Shock. It's oversimplifying it, obviously, but if you do, like, not Holy Shocking or Crusader Striking enough, those are the 2 biggest, most common mistakes with the spec. But then what really makes or breaks the spec is what you do during wings, because wings is you ramp up. You have about 30 seconds of wings if you use Light Circuit, 25 seconds if you don't, and if you're using visions, it's really a minute and a half cooldown on wings. So ramping up over 25 seconds, you're ramping up those glimmers during wings, and then they'll slowly ramp down over 30 seconds as they expire, and then you're 30 seconds away from having wings again. So it really, like, wings isn't just about doing a lot of healing during that cooldown. It's really managing your wings properly, and managing your abilities during wings is gonna make or break your throughput throughout the encounter. So the rotation during wings, and the rotation is basically the same for damage and for healing, really is based on Sanctified Wrath and Crusader's Might. So wings baseline has a 6 global cooldown. You can baseline use Holy Shock every 6 globals. You can use Crusader Strike every 4 globals, and every Crusader Strike reduces the cooldown on Holy Shock by one global. During wings with Sanctified Wrath, your Holy Shock has 50% reduced cooldown, so it's only 3 globals, which means after any Holy Shock, you only have 2 globals before you can Holy Shock again. Because of Crusader's Might, that means that Crusader Strike counts as both of these globals. So Holy Shock, if you Crusader Strike immediately after Holy Shock, that immediately will bring your next Holy Shock back off cooldown. But you're limited on how many Crusader Strikes you have. Crusader Strike still is a 4 GCD cooldown even during wings. So the biggest mistake you can make in terms of damage and healing during wings is Crusader Striking as the second non-Holy Shock global during wings after a Holy Shock. Holy Shock, like if you're doing damage, Holy Shock, Judgment, Crusader Strike, Holy Shock is a big misplay that will punish your damage heavily. If you're healing, Holy Shock, Light of Dawn, Crusader Strike, Holy Shock is a big misplay that will punish your healing. So the rotation that kind of happens is, after any Holy Shock, you either want to cast 1 Crusader Strike immediately, or 2 non-Crusader Strike globals. Non-Crusader Strike. If you Holy Shock, Crusader Strike, non-Holy Shock, Holy Shock, or Holy Shock, non-Holy Shock, Crusader Strike, Holy Shock, that will devastate your throughput. So during damage, what it looks like, and this has been the damage rotation for like Mythic plus Shockedin kind of thing throughout Legion. So if you played Holy Paladin Legion at all, whatever, you know the damage rotation during Wings, the healing rotation is the same with Glimmer. Obviously not the same, you're not spamming your Holy Shocks on the boss. Well, sometimes if you're trying to add damage bar, but and you're not Judgment Consecrate are not the globals that you care about. It's more Light of Dawns, Flash of Lights with Infusion, whatever. But the same idea of Holy Shock, and then either 2 non-Crusader Strikes or a Crusader Strike Holy Shock. So the damage rotation has traditionally been Holy Shock, Crusader Strike, Holy Shock, Crusader Strike, Holy Shock, Judgment, Consecrate, Holy Shock. Those 2 globals that you fit in instead of using 1 Crusader Strike, Judgment, Consecrate, Holy Shock, Crusader Strike, Holy Shock. And then you don't, like, when that comes back around, I'll demonstrate this in a sec, but when that comes back around to your next Judgment, Consecrate doesn't need to be refreshed right away, but there hasn't really, at least in the past, been a better global there. So it's been common to just refresh Consecrate early, because why not? You don't want to use a Crusader Strike in that global, so you might as well just kind of sit and wait it out. Or just refresh Consecrate early. It's more value to just refresh Consecrate early than just stand there. So that's what you've done. But that global is the perfect global for if you're using ERT Major, if you're using an on-use trinket. I guess on-use trinkets, if you're using any on-use item that incurs a global, I suppose a trinket wouldn't, but basically something like ERT Major or something along those lines. That's the global you want to do there, or if you need to heal something or whatever, activate an Aura Mastery, something like that. That's the global you want to do it on. You have basically kind of this free global, and kind of the same with healing. I don't know. I'll just show you. I'll show what I mean. So this is the damage rotation. I'll do the damage rotation on 4 targets. I think I'll do it on 1 target, and then I'll do it on 4. I'll do it on 4. So you can start with putting up your cooldowns. Right, okay, I don't have the last part. So Holy Shock, and then use your procs as soon as you get them. Crusader Strike, Holy Shock, Crusader Strike, and then Judgment, Consecrate. Like, even if I have a Crusader Strike, I shouldn't have done that there. That was a misplay, whatever. Not a big misplay. So I didn't want to Crusader Strike there, because then I wouldn't be able to get that cooldown reset right away. So that's kind of that damage rotation. After outing Holy Shock, you either do 2 non-Crusader Strikes or 1 Crusader Strike, and then Holy Shock again. It's the same with healing. It's the same with healing, except with healing it's kind of more, it's easier to mess up, because you're also looking at frames, figuring out who you want to Holy Shock. You're also looking at who does or does not have glimmers on them. So it's really easy to accidentally Crusader Strike at a bad time, or just leave Holy Shock off cooldown for a global or something. That's really just the important thing to keep in mind is, when you Holy Shock, you should be aware of how many Crusader Strikes you have, if you have a Crusader Strike, basically. And know, as you're Holy Shocking, am I following this up with a Crusader Strike? And if the answer is no, or maybe, if you're not sure, then just go with no. Then don't Holy Shock, or don't Crusader Strike, even like when it comes back, until you do your next Holy Shock. Like, if there's any doubt about whether you're gonna be able to, whether Crusader Strike will be back off cooldown after the Holy Shock or whatever, then just do 2 non-Crusader Strike levels, and that basically is it. So I'll do this single target to make it more clear, and then obviously if you Holy Shock and you get the cooldown, you get like a Divine Purpose proc, just spend that right away. But so, it's the same, basically that's like the important part, is that Holy Shock, global, Holy Shock, but Crusader Strike counts as both of those. And that's just the big thing you need to keep in mind. As long as you are cognizant of that during Wings, and maximize how many Holy Shocks you get out, it's like that's the biggest thing to doing good throughput and having success with this spec. So I'll do I'm doing it with damage because I'm not in a group to demonstrate for healing, but it's the same thing for healing. So I'm gonna activate cooldowns, and then like it's just Crusader Strike, Holy Shock, and then Judgment. I want to take a situation where, I'm just gonna wait that one out, honestly, because I didn't want to overuse. Like if Crusader Strike's about to come back and you've already had Holy Shock on cooldown for a second, don't Crusader Strike off cooldown. Just wait and get the Crusader Strike after your next Holy Shock. The biggest thing that can be a problem is if you have Crusader Strike coming back while like Holy Shock will be back in half a second, but your Crusader Strike comes back and you spend a global Crusader Striking, which is mostly wasted because you're basically waiting a global for a Holy Shock you already could have done, and now after that Holy Shock you then don't have that Crusader Strike. It's like taking away basically a Holy Shock and a half from your Wings to make just that slight misplay. That's the thing you really need to be cognizant of, is just essentially that's the misplay that causes problems for Holy Paladins that are learning this spec, is during Wings only Crusader Strike if it's the immediate global after a Holy Shock. Otherwise save it for after your next Holy Shock. That one misplay will basically make or break everything about your throughput as a Holy Paladin. Yeah, kind of a rambly video. I was thinking about just like kind of drawing out like what the cooldowns in terms of like GCDs are for the abilities in like Microsoft Paint or something, but I just decided to kind of rant about it a bit. Really just a couple of simple concepts that sound complicated but aren't when you get the hang of them. It's just getting used to that timing of Crusader Strike, like Holy Shock, and then either one Crusader Strike or two non-Crusader Strikes, and then Holy Shock again. But hopefully that's somewhat helpful. If you want to see me playing the spec, actually healing with the spec, I raid Tuesday through Thursday, 6 to 9 Pacific, and I stream all of my raids on Twitch at twitch.tv/RudyLive. I'm also streaming a lot of times outside of raid, doing Mythic Plus. Most nights I'll be doing Mythic Plus late into the night. I'm more than welcome to stop by and ask whatever questions you have, or just hang out. I'm always down to talk about Holy Valley stuff. I'm always down to complain about Resto Druids. Just feel free to stop on by. And yeah, I hope that's somewhat helpful with picking up the Holy Valley spec, because I'm sure a lot of people out there have been asked by their guilds to start playing Holy Valley. It is a little bit of an OP spec. Alright, thanks for watching, and yeah, if you have any questions or any ideas for videos that you would like to see, or just topics you would want covered relating to Holy Valley, feel free to comment. And yeah, I'm always looking for more Holy Valley stuff to talk about. So yeah, have a good one, and
into something more interesting.